Level 1. The pain. You're 14 when pain stops being a feeling and becomes a climate. Your father drinks through every paycheck, your mother works nights and learns to move quietly through the apartment so she doesn't wake him angry. The walls are thin enough that the neighbors hear everything and polite enough to say nothing. You learn early that suffering is private unless it becomes expensive. At school, you keep your hood up and your answer short. At home, you learn to read footsteps like weather patterns. Fast steps mean shouting, slow steps mean worse. By 16, you've figured out the first law of your life. Nobody is coming to save you. The second law arrives soon after. Pain doesn't disappear, it looks for somewhere else to go. Level 2. The first escape. The pills come after a fight, so bad your lip splits against the kitchen floor. A friend from school gives you the tablets in a parking lot behind a liquor store. He says they'll help you sleep. They do more than that. They silence the static, the shame, the noise, the constant pressure in your chest that feels like a fist closing around your ribs. For 6 hours, nothing hurts enough to matter. You fall in love immediately, not with the high, with the absence. That's how it starts for people like you. Not pleasure, relief. By 17, you know which clinics prescribe loosely, which medicine cabinets are never locked, which classmates will buy one pill for triple what it cost. You tell yourself you're just moving extras, not selling drugs, not becoming anything, just surviving. Survival has a way of changing its name once money gets involved. Level 3. The hustle. You drop out before graduation because school feels like rehearsal for a life nobody in your neighborhood actually gets. You start small. 10 pills becomes 50. 50 becomes a weekly run across 3 blocks, then 5, then the whole side of town where people work double shifts, come home wrecked, and want one quiet hour inside their own heads. You learn fast that addiction doesn't look like the movies. It looks like mechanics, nurses, warehouse workers, mothers, roofers with blown knees, men who got prescribed something after surgery and never really came back. You start keeping numbers in a notebook. Names, debts, supply, who pays late, who lies, who cries, who pretends they're not coming back tomorrow. By 19, you're making more in a weekend than your mother made in a month cleaning hotel rooms. She asks where it comes from. You say deliveries. She looks at the cash too long and decides not to ask again. Silence is the first thing your money buys. Level 4. The supply line. Street dealing is chaos. The real money is upstream. You meet a man named Victor in the back room of a tire shop with no customers and 3 cameras pointing at the door. He doesn't threaten you. Men at his level don't need to. He explains margins, territory, volume. He explains that the person holding the bag takes the risk, but the person controlling the flow controls the city. He starts you on bulk orders, pills at first, then powder, then product cut and pressed to look like something cleaner than it is. You rent a small apartment under a cousin's name and never sleep there. You buy burner phones by the dozen. You rotate cars. You stop posting online. You stop going places you used to go for fun because routine gets people noticed and noticed gets people buried. Your world shrinks as your income grows. That's the trade nobody tells you about. Crime makes your options look bigger right before it narrows your life to a hallway with no side doors. Level 5. The first body. It happens over $2,300. A customer named Luis owes for 2 weeks and starts avoiding your runners. You find him outside a laundromat at 11:40 p.m., smoking under a dead streetlight, acting offended that you came in person. He says he'll pay Friday. You know Friday is a lie because you've heard every version of it. The argument gets loud. He reaches into his hoodie and one of your boys reacts before you do. 2 shots, 1 to the chest, 1 into the concrete after the body drops. Maybe Luis was reaching for cash. Maybe a phone. Maybe nothing. It doesn't matter after. The blood spreads under the vending machine and the whole night turns into logistics. Car gone, phone smashed, clothes burned, cameras checked, alibis aligned. You throw up in a gas station bathroom 40 minutes later, then wash your face and go back to work because the orders still need filling in the morning. That's the real moment you cross over, not when someone dies. When someone dies and the system keeps moving. Level 6. The machine. By 24, you're no longer selling drugs, you're running a structure. 3 stash houses to women handling cash because police search them less aggressively. For teenagers on lookout bikes because they're cheap and fast and replaceable. A cousin managing coded messages through delivery apps. Product moved through auto shops, smoke stores, and one juice bar that never seems busy but somehow pays its rent in cash every month. You start laundering money through vending routes and a detailing business with more invoices than customers. Your apartment has floor-to-ceiling windows now, but you still sleep on the couch with a pistol within reach and your shoes on. You can afford imported whiskey, designer clothes, private tables, but none of it lands. Wealth isn't pleasure to you, it's armor. Dental work for your mother, rent for your aunt, tuition for your younger brother, so he doesn't end up where you did. That's how you justify it. You are poisoning strangers to rescue your own. The math works on paper. It rots everywhere else. Level 7. The empire. At 28, the city starts saying your name carefully. That's when you know you become infrastructure. Not a dealer, not a local crew. A system. You have lawyers on retainer. Cops who give warnings instead of raids, club owners who reserve back booths without being asked, and men who call you boss with the kind of fear that sounds like respect if you don't listen too closely. You expand into neighboring counties. Prescription pills turn into fentanyl because the margins are insane, and the suppliers all say the same thing. Everyone else is already doing it. You tell yourself you'll keep it controlled. Small quantities. Trusted distribution. No sloppy cutting. No direct street chaos, but product multiplies once it leaves your hands, and bodies start stacking in neighborhoods you don't visit. A girl overdoses in the bathroom of a movie theater. A construction worker dies in his truck during lunch break. A 19-year-old with honor roll photos still hanging in his mother's hallway stops breathing on a mattress with his shoes on. You don't see these scenes in person. You see them as numbers that move the police pressure up and the demand even higher. That's when the empire reveals what it actually is. Not power, distance. The farther you rise, the easier it becomes to call devastation by its business name. Level 8. The isolation. You try love once. Her name is Elena. She meets you after the worst years, but before the paranoia gets total. She likes the version of you that still laughs, still cooks late at night, still pretends there will be an ending where you cash out and disappear somewhere with water and no cell service. For 8 months, you almost believe it too. Then her car gets followed home from work. Nothing happens. That's the message. A black SUV behind her through 3 right turns and a red light. She tells you calmly, hand shaking around a coffee mug she can't finish. You move her into a condo with private security the same night. 2 weeks later she leaves anyway. Says you're kind in private and catastrophic in public. Says every room around you feels like it's waiting to explode. Says loving you means rehearsing your death and hers before bed. She isn't wrong. After she leaves, the penthouse gets quieter, the watches get more expensive, and the nights stretch out longer. You start walking the perimeter at 3 o'clock a.m., checking cameras, checking locks, checking the same blind spots, even though the guards already checked them. The money insulated you from poverty. It did nothing for peace. Level 9. The collapse. Empires don't fall all at once. They leak. A courier flips after an arrest. A lieutenant starts skimming. A supplier sends bad product. A federal task force ties together surveillance from 6 counties and builds a conspiracy case patient enough to wait until everyone feels safe. Your phones go hot. 2 stash houses vanish in 1 week. One of your oldest friends disappears, and nobody can tell you whether he got picked up, switched sides, or ended up in a ditch somewhere with lime over his face. You move every night. Safe house, motel, basement apartment, farmhouse outside the city, then back again. Sleep becomes 10-minute fragments. Food tastes like cardboard. One evening, you catch your reflection in a dark TV screen and realize the empire has done what the pain started years ago. It hollowed you out and built a function where a person used to be. You have money in offshore accounts, gold in a wall safe, passports under false names, but escape now feels theoretical, like retirement plans people discuss at office jobs. Your mother calls and says she saw your brother on the news. He got into college, full scholarship. She thanks you for everything you've done for the family. You sit there holding the phone in silence because there is no version of the truth that wouldn't destroy her. Level 10. The ghost. They arrest you at 5:12 a.m. in a rental house with blackout curtains and a fridge full of bottled water and nothing else. No shootout, no dramatic last stand. Just a steel ram at the door, boots on hardwood, zip ties biting into your wrists before your body fully wakes up. That's how lives like yours usually end. Not with cinematic violence, with paperwork, sealed indictments, cooperating witnesses, evidence bags, fluorescent lights. In court they call you organizer, distributor, leader, architect. They list the dead by age and date. They read texts out loud that once felt like ordinary business. You hear your whole life translated into exhibits. Years later, in prison, the empire survives without you for a while, then splinters, then gets absorbed by younger men with leaner crews and colder habits. You become a story told in fragments. Some inmates think you were a king. Others think you were stupid. Both are wrong. You were hurt, then useful, then feared, then replaceable. That's all the empire ever really made of you. A machine for turning pain into product, product into money, money into damage, and damage into more pain. Level 11. The cycle. Right now, somewhere in a cramped apartment above a discount store, a 15-year-old kid is listening to his mother cry behind a locked bathroom door. The fridge is nearly empty. The rent is late. His phone buzzes with a message from an older guy he knows from the neighborhood. Easy work. Quick cash. No big deal. He thinks he's being offered a way out. He doesn't understand that the first thing this world sells is relief, and the second thing it takes is your name. He doesn't know about the safe houses, or funerals, or children sleeping forever in bedrooms with posters on the wall. He doesn't know about checking mirrors at red lights for the rest of his life or waking up with your jaw clenched so hard your teeth ache. He just knows he is tired of hurting, and tired of being broke, and tired of feeling small. So he puts on his shoes and heads downstairs. The system doesn't need him to be evil. It just needs him desperate. That's enough. It always is.